Okay, so welcome everyone to this live stream. So it is the 17th of April 2024. Now we're going to start on the dollar index as always. So on the weekly time frame, what we can see is that we obviously broke that high last week, closing above, and we've tapped into a daily area which is not marked on this weekly time frame, but you'll see that in a moment. So we've tapped into a daily area which could be the catalyst to pull price back down, essentially, because what we also have to the downside is this weekly area right there with liquidity resting above. Very nice area. So if we go down into the daily now, okay, let me take that off, take these off. So that's that daily area right there, daily imbalance that I was speaking about yesterday on the lives, because we were floating around here and I was saying that I was very wary of that level because obviously it was still left out in the open. So obviously price has tapped into it. It was predicted that the news would push it up into that level, which it did do. Okay, so that was, let's just have a look. So yeah, that was yesterday's news at 6:15 p.m. UK time. So Fed Chair Powell speaks. So that was what moves the market essentially. Okay, into that area. So yeah, like I said, can that be now, time for a reversal for the dollar to come down into there to take that low out? There is a possibility. Okay, so that's the dollar. Let's look at, so I'm just going to go through these down here. Okay, so starting on pound yen. Okay, starting on pound yen. So no trades today on pound yen, because what I am looking for and waiting for is a pullback, at which point I'd like to get in some buys either from here or from here, and then to take it back up. Okay, so what we've done on the 4-hour time frame is we came down, took out that low. Again, paying attention to the wicks there, we took out that low with a wick. You could call that a liquidity sweep. We've come back up, we've bounced off of this weekly support, this red line, bounced off of there. So what I am expecting now for GJ is for it to come into this daily imbalance. Okay, so from the current price, that is 125 pips, give or take, from the current price. But like I said, ideally I'd want it to come down into there because that could be a really nice trade up into there. Yeah, not only that, but because if we bring the Fibonacci from the low to the high, let's assume that is the high that's printed, we have an extension alignment with the most recent monthly resistance, which we've already tapped into, bearing in mind. So we've come down, took out liquidity. Could this be the second chance for price to really push through that and break above it to fill this? And we also have an extension alignment with this key level as well, the 618 extension. Obviously, these areas do align within a discount. So that's all I'm waiting for on GJ. Very, very simple. Very simple. So that's that. And you can see I've got my alerts on there. GBP USD. GBP USD. If we go to the weekly, actually, let's go to the monthly. Okay, so we came into monthly resistance here, had a wick down. Obviously, we are now within this range. Okay, if we go down into the weekly time frame, so I've got these weekly areas marked on just to be aware if and when we do tap into them. But on the daily, it is looking like it's reacting from this area here. Okay, and then scoping down on the 4-hour in a moment. But ideally, because we are in a discount of this from the low to the high, obviously you've got the 50% there, we are below that, therefore we are in a discount. Ideally, we want to be what? Looking for buys, right? So in order for me to now do that, and in order for me to now look for buys, what I'm going to do is scale down. Okay, it's just the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour, this was a 4-hour candle that printed today. It opened at 6 a.m, closed at 10 a.m, UK time, that is. So he closed very, very bullish, as you can see. Now, what I'm looking for is a smaller time frame Fibonacci play. So from the low to the high there, you can see I've got a 4-hour level within the discount that I've got an alert on. So if and when we do tap into there, I'm going to be looking for buys to take it back up. And realistically, given the area at which we have achieved on the daily, in terms of the daily discount, we could end up coming back all the way up here. Or obviously, if we continue bullish, might even take that higher. But we're gonna see how we react from these areas first. Okay. So if you're catching a nice trade on the lower time frame with a smaller stop, even to there is still a really decent move. Let's say from that level up to there, you're looking at 200 pips. So if you can get a 20 pip stop, 30 pip stop, or even smaller, which sometimes you can obviously, then it could be a really, really nice setup. So that's what I'm waiting for on GU. So it also aligns with GJ in the sense that I'm looking for buys. Okay. So just from experience, GJ and GU are positively correlated in terms of bias. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for on GU. So euro dollar, very similar price action to GU actually, because we also came into this daily area. We've also tapped into this daily imbalance, which I've taken off, but that's an imbalance right there, which we've tapped into. So very similar, like I said, and it all aligns with what we spoke about a moment ago on the dollar. If we can get this move down, obviously, what's that going to do for the US cross pairs? Well, it's going to increase the value, because that we're now potentially saying the dollar could decrease, so these are going to go up. GU, EU, okay. So yeah, similar thing. If we can come up to there, could be a really nice move. Okay, if we just go back to the weekly time frame, just so we can zoom out a moment. Monthly. So I've got some monthly level on there. Okay, interesting thing about this, I spoke about this yesterday, was the fact that we closed above there on the monthly. This was monthly resistance, closed above that. We're having a pullback, and is this just doing a bit of this? It could be doing that, given the fact that if we go to Euro USD on the 12-month time frame, look at where we're coming out of on the 12-month. Yeah, back to EU on this chart. The reason why I'm dipping between the charts is because OANDA just goes back to 2002 with this, whereas FXCM you've got all the way to 1971, so you obviously get more data. But for me, the way I'm looking at the markets, I do find the OANDA data feed a little bit cleaner, because you'll notice if you really, really look into both of them, you might have two on the same screen looking at them side by side, you'll notice that sometimes the candles are out of alignment on FXCM, and I just don't like that. So this is why I've come to OANDA to get the specific levels in which I'm looking at. That's just the way I like to do things personally. So yeah, like I said, could that just be a pullback, because we've already closed above this level here on the monthly? So very, very likely. So again, it's just all about aligning things up. We've also come into a daily area there, similar to GU. So yeah, could get that expansion. See how we react from there. Again, all of this really is relative equal highs. In other words, liquidity. So that's potentially a great opportunity. Obviously, as well, aligning that with the Bitcoin halving coming up in less than 3 days now. I was speaking to Henry about this. You know, actually, he was telling me that, you know, if you look back at the charts at the previous halvings, you can see most things do go up. So, you know, the fact that this is in a really nice buying area is that aligning with what's potentially coming. So that's just that to keep in mind. Australian dollar, US dollar. If we just go to the monthly, we've got a similar to euro. We closed above this on the monthly, coming back down. Yeah, we've got that monthly floor. Okay, like support basically to contend with if we do decide to come down. So, I mean, yeah, for now, again, because it is in a discount, is this now aligning to potentially go to the upside? You know, we've got a weekly imbalance right there, clear as day. So obviously relative equal highs there. You know, if we start to break structure on the lower time frame, I don't see why these highs cannot be taken, and even these, to be honest with you. Okay, so going down to the daily, there wasn't anything clear on the daily that we've tapped into. I know we've tapped into a 4-hour imbalance, however, that's why we're stalling around. It's not to say we can't react from there, we very well could do. So that's just over there. Okay, dragging it to the right, that's what we're currently in at the moment. So yeah, multiple levels, multiple areas to potentially tap into. So yeah, just keeping an eye on that one. And then USD CAD, as we spoke about yesterday, we've got that monthly ceiling right there. We've got monthly ceiling right there. Similar price action to the rest of what we've just spoken about. We've closed above this on the monthly. We've had a pullback. Look where we came into, and we've moved away. So this high is more than likely vulnerable, in my opinion. We might have a reaction from here to gather more sellers in the market with more stop losses above here, even more reason to take it eventually. But overall, I do see that high as being vulnerable, okay, or weak. So that's the monthly. On the weekly, same story. I've just got some weekly support right on there if we do decide to pull back, because that aligns with a discount of a 4-hour leg. Okay, of a 4-hour leg. So from this low to wherever the high may print, right? If we do pull back, that'd be a nice area to buy from, because look how many times it's been used. Yeah, simple support and resistance, but very effective, because we're using multi-time frame analysis and aligning everything together. So that's USD CAD. Sort of, I mean, current price action, in my opinion, no man's land, really, because we've got that there. This could just be playing around, you know, as simple as that. It could drop from here. Obviously, it can do anything. We all know that. But yeah, I'm aware of this, and I'm aware of this level down here. Anything in between is just internal. Don't get me wrong, there could be trade opportunities, but from a, let's say, higher time frame perspective, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for on USD CAD. Go back to the monthly and let's change currency pair. So Euro JPY, monthly ceiling, that's a weekly area. So we could have a clean run up into there, 168,382. So from the current price, we are looking at 300, nearly 400 pips away. Okay, and I've got a monthly area on there, a monthly area on there, nice and simple. And then on the weekly, something I'm looking for this week on this weekly candle close, if we close above these two bodies here, then that opens the gates definitely for this, I would say. Okay, just reading price action alone, because when we see a closure above there, used it as support, and away we go. Could have a similar thing. Could have a closure above, many taps into it, a bit of manipulation maybe, like that wick there, classic manipulation. Yeah, so this is an important candle closure in my opinion for this pair. And then on the daily, you can see obviously the daily is still bullish, higher highs, higher lows. We can all see that from the low to the high. We came into a discount. There's that manipulation candle that I just spoke about, taking out that low. So we could be using this to now springboard to the upside. Okay, so that's Euro JPY. USD JPY. Now, because of the data that I've just spoken about on Oando, it goes back to 02. I had to go to FXCM to gather this level. So going to FXCM, this was printed in 1990. So we've actually not been this high on USD JPY since the 1990s. Okay, or since 1990 specifically. So we've got monthly ceiling right there, coming in at 158,950. And then all I've done is literally just put a horizontal line at 158,950 on the Oando chart. Just there, look, okay. So we know that that's a potential for price to run into. Again, it is pretty much a clear road. A clear road, because if we go back to this chart on FXCM, just so we can look at the data, there isn't anything else really in the way other than the closure itself of the monthly candle. So from the current price, in terms of pips, that is over 400 pips away, 429 pips. And that's pretty much it. You can see I've got a monthly area on there if we do decide to use that as support. Okay, and weekly. Okay, weekly. Again, sort of just a clean run up there, to be honest. Very, very clean run up. On the daily, you can see how this level was used, this monthly level. You can see it, like, obviously it was printed there, very clean, bringing it through. Look at these daily wicks. Look at the closures. Pay attention to the closures of the candles, right? So we wicked into it, failed to close above, closed here. Come down, wicked into it, failed to close above. We did that for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 days we were trying to break through it. And then on the 14th day, so 2 weeks pretty much of trading days, and bear in mind a week's worth of trading days is 5, so more than 2 weeks really. On the 14th trading day, we closed above, used it as support, and then bang, up we go. Okay. So you can see there why looking at the price action and paying attention to the details can be very, very useful with our technical analysis, because it can have a big impact on what sort of trading decisions we need to make, okay, live in the moment. Yeah. So yeah, very nice area there being used. So yeah, like I said, we've got a clean run up to there. Obviously, we could have a pullback. Not saying we can't do that, but overall, my bias is to there, at least. And then gold. Let's talk about gold. So on the monthly, we've got that level down there, fairly, I'm not going to say irrelevant, but it's so far away at the minute. I'm not even going to think about that. On the weekly, we've got that there. Again, it's so far away, not really too worried about it. On the daily, this is where it gets interesting, because 2 days ago, we closed above the most recent resistance, indicating that we can go higher. And obviously that was then used to support the following day. So are we now going to continue up? Given the fact that we're also bullish on gold massively, there is a possibility for that. If we don't, then we can use that potentially as support. But given that closure, very, very nice bullish closure, closing above that level there. So I'm just drawing lines everywhere now. But closing above that level there, indicating the momentum is still to the upside. Okay, going down into the 4 hour. Okay, going down into the 4 hour. Similar scenario, so we've actually closed above that on the 4 hour. Very slightly, but we still closed above it. Just there, look. And then on the 1 hour, this is what I want to shed light on, because we can see how the 1 hour support and resistance is really playing out nicely here. Okay, this is the 1 hour time frame. You can see it beautifully. Even this false move down to here, look where it came into, this 1 hour support. We break up, we come back down. Look what we find our feet at, this 1 hour support. We do it again, we've broken up, we've come back down. Look what we found our feet at, this 1 hour support. So really, from here, we could start to see the momentum continue on, because we're bullish on all time frames. In terms of structure, we're bullish on all time frames in terms of structure. Okay, I'm not talking about the economic this, that, or the other numbers, bank statements, all the rest. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about structure. Every structure on gold is bullish. Okay, and we can just see that just by eye. So, you know, and we've just tapped into, like I said, a nice area now. So realistically, could continue up, even make a new high, dare I say. It's not impossible, given the fact that it's just been doing that for a laugh recently, just like it's nothing, you know. And also aligning with the Bitcoin halving, going back to that, you know, is this now going to continue up, given the fact that, you know, just from previous data, you know, what we've gathered looking at that and what other assets like to do, aligning with that. So that's pretty much it, to be honest. Actually, what I'd like to do, just to finish off, I want to look at silver, because this is what we were looking at before, and I want to continue the theme. XAG USD on Oanda. Okay, so monthly time frame. Monthly, just going to mark that on right there. Template monthly. So this is actually going to be an important month for silver as well. If we close above this high on the monthly time frame, what does that then mean? Well, it means that we've got the opportunity to then go to the next one. Where's the next one? Up there. Okay, and obviously all-time highs could potentially be on the cards longer term for silver. Again, we are bullish. Just zooming out, we can see that we're bullish. What did we wick into there? Nothing too clear on the monthly in that respect. So we wicked that high by the looks of it, the all-time high. Look at the body closure. We closed below. This is why you know, it's very, very powerful to pay attention to the candles themselves. So yeah, very important area for silver. So 13 days, 9 hours. If we do close above, we could be in for there. Okay, we could be in for there. So $34.63 per ounce of silver. Okay, but like I said, we've got to contend with this at the moment. It has been used multiple times. So is this now the time where silver's saying, right, no, I've had enough. I want to close above here. I'm ready for more higher prices. It could well happen. It really could. Weekly time frame, you've got that level there as well. Fairly important on this week as well, to be honest, because that's the most recent weekly ceiling, let's say, coming in at $28.30. So we've not had a weekly closure above that since coming into this. So this was printed in 2020. So if we can close above this week, then that could be an indication that the monthly then wants to close above the monthly level. Okay, just aligning, bits and bobs up there. So yeah, fairly interesting on the 4 hour. Still bullish price action. I mean, these lows are still holding. So yeah, looking like it is using that as support potentially anyway. So yeah, just stuff to wait and see, and I'll keep you guys updated on that as well. So that's about it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope this was valuable to yourselves, and I will catch you on the next live. So thank you guys. Take care.